Namaste, yogis out there. Hey, I've got something special for you today. We're gonna make an immunity boosting broth. And why would we do such a thing? Well, I'll tell you what, if you're feeling run down and you feel the first sign of a cough or cold or even the croup, this is how we treated our croup. We're gonna mix up a broth that's easy to do. You might have some of these herbs and you might have some of these fresh herbs, ginger and garlic and such, already in your kitchen, in your cupboard, and that's great. And if you don't, you can have a look at our article online called Immunity Boosting Broth. Next time you're at the food store, pick up some of these goodies and you'll be ready to go. All right, so we're gonna make it together. It's really easy and it's fun. So thanks for checking in on our Herb Yogi tip of the day, immunity. Okay, so first thing we're gonna do is get some grapeseed oil warm in your pan. And I like to give it a swirl around. As you can see, my heat is low. Anytime you're cooking medicinal foods, you don't want high heat. Typically, you don't want high heat at all. Okay, slow and steady wins the race. I have here, if you can see, some raw ginger, and all I'm doing is cutting off the edges. And I often say that raw ginger looks like a wizard's finger pointing at you saying, go home and make yourself some immunity broth. So all I did was cut those skins off, and I'm gonna dice it up as small or as thin as you can, because it is so poignant and so pungent and so antiviral and antifungal, and one of the greatest anti-inflammatories we can find in an herb. Also part of the same family as the turmeric, which is also a part of our magical medicinal broth this special day. So I'm going to take that nice warm oil, you can hear it start to sizzle a bit, and I'm going to add in the raw ginger. Just as soon as I get that going, I'm going to swish a little bit of extra grapeseed oil on it because we are going to brown the ginger. Okay, and well, I come from an Italian background, so everything we do is with garlic, but I'm married to a Chinese man, and everything he and his family do is with ginger. So often we get ginger and garlic in the same wok, in the same saucepan, in the same dish. So that's what's happening here, and I want to chop it up as small as I can, but this is kind of what I call an emergency broth, and the reason why is our little one was fighting off the croup. I heard that first sound, that first sort of a seal barking sound of the croup, and instead of going into panic, I just grabbed what I had, and fortunately had these things in the kitchen, and they really work for me. So after I get the garlic and the ginger in, I'm going to swirl the oil a little bit more, get it moving around. I like to take a pink Himalayan sea salt or some Celtic salt, some high mineral rich salt, not table salt, and crunch or grind just a good pinch or two of that. I'm going to take some fresh rosemary. This is from a friend's garden. I just dried it. If you have a rosemary plant in your yard, it's totally fantastic to use it fresh, of course. But I had an abundance of the dried, so I'm crushing it with my fingers and I feel it sort of crumble, and that is important because it really breaks open that essential plant component and the medicine that's inside. In addition, I'm doing the same thing with thyme. Okay, so I get that in there. I have a pinch of turmeric, and you might like to just toss it right out of your jar. I pick up one over at Trader Joe's, loving Trader Joe's. And I'm going to just get in a good amount of that turmeric. Now, what I'm going to do next, my favorite thing in the kitchen to have when I'm cooking for deliciousness, is liquid aminos. This is by Bragg's, okay? This is totally gluten-free. I'm going to give it a little swish. Okay, and I'm also going to swish up what's going on in my pan. And it's starting to get yellow. And I can smell that sweetness of the garlic becoming very aromatic with our other herbs in there. And I love to have myself a wooden spoon, so gotta find my wooden spoon. Where are you, babe? Okay, well this one's a little bigger, but wooden spoons are good for mashing up the herbs, for getting things moving around, and it just feels right to work with a wooden spoon. There's no scratching or harsh connection with metal on metal. and it feels very earthly to me, so I love working with the wooden spoons. Okay, so now I've got a nice base. I might even kick the heat up slightly more. Remember, I've got a little one. In essence, I have a little one up there who needs this, and this might be you that needs this, so you want to kind of make it quick. You want to catch that first sign of not feeling well and give your body and your immune system a chance to boost as quickly as can be. I'm going to spill a little bit of water. And I probably ended up putting maybe 3/4 of a cup. Okay, I'm going to kick the heat up just a teeny bit more. I'm going to swish it around. And now I've got some dried herbs. I've got the fresh ginger and the garlic that's good and browned. The sea salt mixed in with the turmeric is creating this natural broth, and we added in those amino acids, which is going to give it a lot of flavor. Now, because turmeric is so medicinal, we're going to add a little bit more of that. I'm going to add just another little pinch of sea salt. And I'm actually going to even give it a little bit more of that crushed rosemary and a pinch of that crushed thyme. Okay, and then lastly, I'm going to chop or cut as fine as I can, just get these essential plant components open in the parsley and basil is what I have here. And I just kind of pulled this off of our herb garden out in the yard, just a few little great pots we have going with fresh herbs. Okay, sometimes it helps with the scissor just to get that open and going, and I'm going to mix that right on in. So we've got the fresh parsley going in last. Anything that's really vibrant and green I like to put in last, and the reason why is you want to keep those enzymes alive. So if you overcook anything emerald green like the forest and starts to churn its color, then we're losing sort of its magic. So I'm going to give it another good swirl. And I could probably even give this a little bit more turmeric. I've grown to like the taste of turmeric. If you have aches and pains in your body, it's just such an excellent anti-inflammatory. So maybe we can get our broth a little bit more yellow, adding a little extra of that turmeric, giving it a good swish. What do you think, cameraman? Can you see what color's going on in there? Got a good look? Kind of looks a little muddy, but that's what's going on as the collision of the turmeric color meets all of our other essential components here of the herb family. That's going to boost our immunity, and I feel that, and I can say that because it has successfully helped my body, hopefully yours. But again, we're getting creative and crafty in the kitchen. You might not have these herbs, and maybe you have a few others that you like. The idea is to have immunity boosting herbs and material in your home, in your cupboard, in your fridge, especially the ginger and the garlic at all times. Because when in doubt, those babies can really help you. And they work well together, don't they? So here we go. We're pretty much done with our broth. And if my little one really was not feeling well, what I would do and what I have done is just transfer that over to a bowl and let it cool off. And I'm actually going to drink it tonight since he's sleeping. And I feel like this is going to be good for me. So cheers, namaste, take good care of your body. And you know, living harmoniously and being in the kitchen requires spending the time at home. So go home and make yourself an incredible meal and nourish inside and out. Peace.